Have you ever thought about the relationship between corporate life and detachment? I'm sure you must be thinking, what kind of strange question is this? Why would one establish a relationship between corporate life and detachment? Guess what? Practicing detachment in the corporate life can help you to excel in the corporate life. Let me share a small story with you. So, there was a CEO, a highly successful CEO of a large organization. He had a very stressful life. So someone suggested him, why don't you go for a retreat just to relax and experience some peace of mind? So this CEO decided to give it a try. So he went for this retreat. There was a monk who was giving discourse in this retreat. So he was answering questions from the participants. So this CEO asked the obvious question to this monk: what is the solution for stressful life? What can we do? So this monk said, you have to practice renunciation. Now, for a CEO, practicing renunciation is a difficult thing. So he said, I have spent my entire life to reach to this position. I have taken efforts and pains to become a CEO. And now you are asking me to renounce everything. That doesn't make sense to me. So I can't digest this. Secondly, I've heard many people talking about performing the duties sincerely, diligently. And now you are talking about renunciation. So probably these two are two different things, two opposite things. One side, people like you ask to perform the duties in the life, and the other side, you ask for the renunciation. So Monk realized and he agreed that his concern was valid. So he said, why don't you join me for morning walks for a couple of days and we will try to address your concern. CEO happily agreed. So next day, this monk and CEO went for a walk. So after walking for some time, Monk noticed there was a bird's nest which was destroyed because of the heavy winds in the previous night. So Monk suddenly stopped and started staring at that nest. The CEO had lost in his own thoughts. He even didn't realize that Monk had stopped before. So after some time, the CEO realized Monk was not with him. So he returned back and he saw that Monk was staring at that nest. So this monk pointed towards that nest and said, I have seen this nest destroyed a couple of times. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And they continued their walk. Next day, they both came to the same spot, looked at that bird's nest, and to their great surprise, those birds had rebuilt their nest. And Monk said, that is a good example about performing your duties and renunciation. These birds know that there could be heavy winds, there could be predators destroying their nests, or there could be any other reason which can cause destruction of their nest. But still, they build their nest. Even if it is destroyed, they rebuild it and they perform their duties. At the same time, when they're performing their duties, they're not thinking about the results, whether it will get destroyed, whether there will be heavy rains, whether there will be anything else, it will get destroyed. They're not thinking about it. They're just doing their duties. Performing your actions without getting attached to the results of those actions is the renunciation. So whatever you do, when you detach yourself from the results of those actions, is practicing renunciation. Renunciation does not mean leaving everything behind and becoming a monk. Renunciation means detaching yourself from the results of your actions. Now, don't you think that this is very relevant in a stressful life in the corporate world? Everyone is stressed in the corporate world. See, for example, if there is a heated argument in the office, people will not have good sleep in the night. They will keep thinking about it. Why? Event has already happened, but these people cannot detach themselves from those events or the results of those events, outcome of those events. And that's why they start getting those sleepless nights. Problems will be there. There will be problematic colleagues, there will be work pressure. The key is we have to perform our duties sincerely and diligently. What comes later, we should not bother about it. Things might happen as we expect, things might not happen as per our expectations, but that should not bring any change in our life. Have you observed a lotus flower? So, lotus flower grows in a muddy water. But look at the leaves. Leaves are still very clean. No matter what is there around you, it should not bother you. So, a lotus leaf manages to keep itself clean in the muddy water. In our life, that muddy water is everything around us which is bothering us. Problematic people, work pressure, everything. That's a muddy water. Let that be there. We have to still keep growing. We have to make sure that that muddy water does not impact us. We have to stay clean. And that can happen only when we practice detachment. Detachment from the results of our action. We have to keep performing our duties, whatever we are supposed to do. When we do what we are supposed to do, we should not bother about whether we achieve the results which is expected or whether it is unexpected result. That should not make us happy or sad. And that's how we can practice detachment in the corporate life.